Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this December edition of Plant-Based Cooking with Chef Kimberly Brock. And we're looking forward to this new delicious cooking class that she is doing for us today, and wishing everybody happy holiday season this season. So, Chef Kim, what do you have for us today?
Lemon Blueberry Cheeseball.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. All right. Well, I'm going to leave you to it and look forward to seeing this delicious cheese ball recipe.
Awesome. So, know everyone is being invited to all of these events for the holidays. So, what better way than to bring a delicious plant-based dish that you don't have to tell them it's plant-based? So, we're going to do a cheese ball. The only thing different here than a traditional one would be the cream cheese that we're using. So we've got a plant-based cream cheese here, and you can mix this by hand, or you can mix this in a mixing bowl. So just depends on how soft you have it and how much time you have. So I'm going to mix that in. I'm going to probably continue to mix it several times throughout the show. So we're going to put in some sugar here. You can use a powdered sugar or a finely milled sugar. So I'm just going to kind of mash this through. And there's several things that you put in here. So we're going to have some lemon juice, some lemon zest. But there are, as I've told you all before, like with the vegan cheeses, when I first started using them, they were not so great. So they are always updating them. And I buy pretty much the same brands all the time. And I'm always, when I go to the store, I see, okay, this one is, it's new and improved again, So you just have to keep an eye on the ingredients and make sure that they're what you want or not, and if they aren't, then just keep looking for a better one. And there's actually a cookbook out now with a lot of vegan dairy that's pretty clean. So just have to be self-starter and try to find out which ones of those work best for you. Okay, so I'm going to do that and let that sit there for a second and get all of this off of my hands and taste it too, see if it's good. Okay, it's good. Tastes like cheesecake. So I'm going to put some lemon in here, but before we do the juice, we're going to put some lemon zest. So you probably don't need but one lemon, but I've got two here just in case. So just don't want to get to the white pit. And I used to never use lemon zest in things because I could always feel the texture of it and still taste it, So, but I think it helps, especially with things like this. So I'm just going to do a little, and then I'm still going to chop it up. I'm one of those people that don't like the textures of things. I like nuts, but I don't like nuts in my food. So I just wanted to make sure it's chopped up fine enough for me. Okay. And I would say probably got maybe about a half teaspoon here. Get all of those good parts. And just run it back through with a knife. And I do rosemary like this too. Sometimes it's so woody, you can still taste it in things, but I like to dice it up really fine. Okay, and it doesn't take much because you have zested it, but this will make a little difference. And then just put that over into your cream cheese mixture. Okay. And next I'm going to go in with the actual juice and get any seeds out that I might encounter. So you just want a little, maybe about a teaspoon of this. Okay. And mix this in. You don't want a ton because you got the zest and you got the actual juice, and you don't want it wet and runny. Okay. I'm gonna just taste it a little bit to see if I can taste the lemon. See it's in there. I can. That's really good. It just really helped to brighten that up. So ideally, you want to take this and put it in the refrigerator for an hour so that it can get hard or harder. And we're going to roll it through something in here in a little bit. So yours will probably look better than mine. I'll just go ahead and say that in the beginning. I forgot. We want to add our blueberries to this. So just pour the blueberries in and try not to smash them. Before anybody asks, can you use frozen blueberries? Yes, you can. It's just going to be more moisture to them, and it's going to give it a different look. They're sort of going to maybe do a little spiral because sometimes they tend to bleed. So just be mindful of that. And but yes, you can use them. And so with that being said, you want to make sure it's cold, and you want to make sure, I'm going to add a few more. You want to make sure you have enough cream cheese, because if the blueberries are liquidy, especially if you let them thaw out, that might be a problem. So, okay, so I'm gonna put this in our freezer for a quick sec. So I'm gonna go off screen. I just want it to harden up, even though it's not gonna be in there, full amount of time. So, right back. Okay. Now we're going to toast our almonds, which will be put on top. Okay. So we're going to get our skillet heated up here. Move around some of our dishes. Okay. And so we're going to just toast the almonds and put a little sugar in there with them, just to give them sort of a sweet texture to them. Put this over. And so everything will come together. And this is something that you can, like I said, you can do if you're having something at your house, if you've been asked to bring a dish or bring a dessert, and you'll be the hit of the party. So, just making sure this is hot enough before we add our almonds in. Okay. All right. So you're just going to toast these on medium-high heat for just a few minutes. I'm just going to sprinkle them in. I don't want to overcrowd the pan, like have them stacked on top of each other. I just want to sort of have a thin layer of them. I think that's good. Okay. And then we're going to add our sugar to this. And I have, basically it's just a ground turbinado sugar or raw cane sugar. It's not a white sugar. And so this will be nice to add to them. Just, once you smell them, the oils and the nuts heat up, you just want to kind of shake it around a little bit. All right. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to add the sugar once the pan sort of gets hot. Once you add the sugar in, you want to continuously cook or move the sugar. So add a little bit of sugar in here. Just move this around constantly. If you can keep them from clumping up, that's great, because you want to be able to kind of sprinkle them over the top. But you do want to get some color on the nuts. Okay. And if you smell them and think they're not burning, but you don't want them to burn, you can always turn it down some. But like I said, just keep moving it, almost like a roux. If you need to pull it off this burner, you can do that as well. All the fire in here. And so I'm going to turn it off, actually, because I think we're where we want it to be. We just need them to dry and sort of crumble up a little bit. So, but the sugar melted, the pan is sort of wet, and then the almonds are toasted nicely. So I'm going to be done with that. We're just going to set this aside so it can sort of cool down. Okay. All right. Now, you want to make your presentation, everything. So everyone is saying great things about you. So you can use whatever type of cookie that you like. I don't know if all of these are vegan or not. The Chessmen, probably not. They definitely have butter in them. But you could use something like that. Lorna Doone, which I believe is vegan. And this is not like what do you call it? It's not like a healthy dish, but it's a sweet treat. And then the same thing with your vanilla wafers. So I've got some little mini vanilla wafers here. So I'm going to just put a little mishmash of all different types of cookies down on a plate. And, pick out whatever your favorites are. I don't know how this would taste with ginger snaps, but it might be pretty good. If you like ginger snaps. I wouldn't put all of it in here, ginger snaps, but, maybe a few. I like ginger snaps. And, yeah. So we'll put some down here first, and then we'll come back in and add a few more cookies once we get it completed. Okay. Right. I think our nuts are probably where we want them to be. Just kind of break them up off the pan. And I'm not going to dirty up another vessel, but I think these are good enough to sprinkle on top of our cheese ball. It's like little candied almonds. This is going to be nice. And like I said, you want to definitely leave that ball in there as long as you can. But just for the sake of our time here, we don't have an hour. So, but it's almost like brittle, if you took like a peanut brittle, a very light, soft peanut brittle here. So, all right, got that there. I'm gonna spread this out a little bit because I might roll it in a little. Okay. Getting our ball. Okay. And it did get colder, but it's by no means as hard as it will probably be. But if you leave it in there longer, it will definitely have more of a stiffness to it. Okay. So I'm going to just place this right here. Normally you might roll it in the almonds, but I'm just going to put it there since mine is softer than yours will be. Get as much of that in there as possible. And then we'll get another glove and sprinkle our almonds on top. And so, as fast as this is, folks, you can also see it doesn't take a long time. This is something that you can, if somebody asks you at the last minute to do, you can do it and bring it. I'm going to just put some of these over the top and the sides. And if some falls down, that's completely fine. Just try to have some, try to cover a good bit of this as you can. So this would probably be good even if you use strawberries or any different kind of berry that you might like or might have on hand. And then again, you can stick it back in the fridge before you cut into it, because you want it to be as hard as it can be. So, but I think that looks pretty great, y'all, personally. And it smells great. You can add a little vanilla to this, like a vanilla bean, which will just round out the flavors. Okay. And then we're gonna add some more of our cookies. To this. And even some blueberries, just a couple, which people can see the blueberries peeking out, so it's no secret that they're in here. If you wanted to add some mint, you could, just for a little fluffy color. Okay, and just put a few little blueberries down on the plate, just to let your guests know what is actually in this. And that's it. Very quick holiday dessert, or a dessert for any time. And it tastes delicious. I haven't had it, in its molded state, but just the little bit that I sampled is good. And
That does look good, Chef Kim. I'm looking forward to trying that myself. I love a cheese ball, but it's interesting to do one that's not savory. Do one that's sort of more of on the sweet side. So what a cool thing to do for a dessert. And I wanted to just let everybody know also that we are doing a giveaway of a 21-piece cookware set. We posted the QR code in the upper left corner during the show. We'll also be posting a link so you can enter that way in the comments below. And we encourage you to participate in that giveaway. And we also wanted to remind everybody that AARP is the nation's largest nonprofit, nonpartisan organization dedicated to empowering people 50 and older to choose how they live as they age. With a nationwide presence, AARP strengthens communities and advocates for what matters most to the more than 100 million Americans 50 plus and their families. You can learn more at aarp.org. All right. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And don't forget to enter in the sweepstakes to get a chance to win that cookware set. You can use the QR code up above on the left corner, and you can also use the link that we posted in the comments. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll look forward to having you back with us next month for another edition of Plant-Based Cooking with Chef Kim Brock.